Hey, Mike. Good evening once again.
Hey, Leandro. How are you?
All is fine. Great. Great stuff going on here today.
That's right. That's right. Today we are going to be talking about how to become a balloon pilot, and we have two awesome people, Adam and Kim Magee from the Balloon Training Academy. They're going to be showing us how to become a balloon pilot in the USA. If you're in Europe and you're watching this video, tune in next week. We'll be with an instructor from Italy, and he'll tell us how to become a pilot in Europe. I assume there's some similarities. So if you're in Europe and you want to watch this video, it's still probably a good resource. But we'll be launching one next week to talk directly about that.
Anyway, stay tuned. It's a live show. You are part of the show, and we will go straight into that after the intro. Hey, Mike, we went through that, right? At some point, me and you. How do I become a balloon pilot, right?
Yeah, of course we did. And before we get to that, let's actually give the audience real quick an update on the campaign.
Right. Thank you, Balloon Campaign. So it's 1 week. We are into that, right, Mike? One week of 4. 1
week from today, and we are 28% funded. So we have just over $4,000. USD,
right,
and just around $4,000 euro, and just at 28%. So we are we're on track, but we still, if you guys were thinking about supporting the thank you balloon, if you're thinking about writing a thank you message on the balloon, now is a really good time to do it. To keep up the momentum, and let's make sure that this balloon gets in the air.
That's it. Yeah, very well said, Mike. So yeah, make sure you check our Kickstarter. It's right there, a balloon bringing your thank you messages, love messages into the air. So pretty unique. So Mike, who is joining us today?
Right down below, Adam and Kim Magee from the Balloon Training Academy. Hey guys.
Hi, Adam.
Hey.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
You're very welcome.
Of course. It's our pleasure. So like Leandro was saying before, there's 4 pilots here, and we've all gone through we've all seen the balloon in the sky, and we said, how do we make that happen? I know for me, when I first wanted to become a pilot, I went to a balloon festival, and I was like, wow, I think I could fly one of those things. So I snuck onto the launch field, and I started helping the balloons take off, which balloonists are super friendly, as all of us know. And a couple of them were like, yeah, jump in the chase vehicle. So I jumped in there, and we ended up chasing down the balloon, and ended up being like a super late night, but it was so much fun. And that's ultimately what got me in. But if you're not going to a balloon festival, or if you don't have a balloon festival right around you, how would you guys say is the best way to become a balloon pilot?
Yeah, well, I think, for both of us, we were both really fortunate that our parents fly hot air balloons. So we were kind of brought into the sport of ballooning. But yeah, if you aren't brought into ballooning through parents or family and going to balloon events and all that, I guess really a good way is try to connect up with a local pilot somewhere, go chase them down when they're flying, start talking with the pilot, the crew, join a chase crew. Kind of get experience crewing and flying, and we always joke maybe go on your first balloon flight, because always your first balloon ride is the most expensive one, because you end up buying a balloon afterwards. So,
so we say it on airplanes, so we say some similar things. Yeah, it's pretty common when you get
so much of ballooning is just community, and getting a part of the community. And if you need help finding a local pilot or someone to help you along your way, that's part of what we try to do with the Balloon Training Academy, is help make connections for those who are interested in flying to connect up with an instructor, or maybe a 141 school, just something to help get people their pilot certificate.
Cool. So a couple things. You mentioned the Balloon Training Academy. Real quick, what is that? What do you guys do for that?
Well, I guess in a nutshell, our mission is to bring the launch field to students across the USA. So, our mission is the success of new pilots, and I guess from the very beginning, we were heavily involved in youth programs and getting young kids involved in ballooning. And what we realized was that the camps and getting youth involved in school presentations and all that was really great to get kids excited, but it stopped right there, and we couldn't really push and get them to earn their certificates. So we started off as an online ground school, so online, self-paced, start whenever, work whenever,
right?
Complete ground school on your own pace. Take the FAA knowledge exam when you're ready, and we provide sign-offs for that. And then it's really evolved from that. We've got flight instructor training courses to help help refresh the skills of flight instructors, training syllabuses, a balloon grant program, training program, just all sorts of reasons. And then once you become ready for your check ride, we have check ride exam preparation courses. We'll do one-on-one work with a student. We just want to bring as many resources as possible to students to allow them the ability to earn their certificate and get more people involved in ballooning.
Make it easier for those people who weren't quite as fortunate as us to, have parents in it, make it easier for those people who to get into ballooning and make sure that sport keeps growing.
Yeah, and I guess it's something we do just because it's a passion. It's fun for us. We both have jobs outside of ballooning, so the Balloon Training Academy is like our
second job.
Yeah, our second full-time job. But,
that's where the gray hairs are coming from.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all the stress. But no, it's fun. It's what we enjoy doing and spending our time, and it's kind of our relaxation away from work, I guess.
Right. So I guess you mentioned a couple things there. It sounded like you talked about ground school, and then you talked about helping pair up the students with instructors. I guess if you could paint a roadmap to becoming a balloon pilot in as little steps as possible, and not to cut corners, but just for our audience to make it to kind of draw it out for them, just so they could get a visualization of what they have to do to become a pilot. Could you do that for us? How would that look?
Yeah, so ground school is a good place to start because our ground school, prepares you for the written exam. You have to take a written exam, 60-question test. And so our ground school prepares you for that exam, but it also provides a solid foundation for your flight training. We don't teach just the question and answers to pass the test. We teach, to have good pilots and safe, competent pilots. So, we cover everything you need for ground training. We cover a lot of flight training within our ground schools. And then next step is, once you have the ground training, pass the test and everything, is to get your flight training, get a minimum of 10 hours of flight training with an instructor. And, we try to do that, but we get very backlogged with students. So we also connect students with those around them and trying to find commercial pilots who are willing to give the flight instruction to those around, and get the flight training, and then you're ready for your check ride, ready for your practical exam with an examiner.
So if you have no idea where to go, start with our website, I guess. And we really try our best to connect people all over the country with instructors and other people who are going through the same process to kind of create this community and keep the momentum going when people are interested.
Yeah, because we know it's difficult to find people, especially if you're coming into ballooning and you have no idea, where to look. So always try to be a resource for that. So
I think that's awesome, because when I started in ballooning after the first event in New Jersey, I linked up with one of the local pilots, and there's such a robust ballooning community out in New Jersey that there was a lot of crew already there, and I felt like maybe like I talked to one of the pilots, and she was like, yes, we're going to get you in the basket. Our hope is to get you flight time, but we can't guarantee it because it's in New Jersey, which doesn't have, the best weather of all time. And you have 6, maybe 7 good months of flying weather out of the year, and then there's just so many other people. So a big struggle for me was to get the flight instruction, and then even through Google, I was like, all right, balloon flight instructor. It was, a lot of the balloonists are older and don't leverage the internet, which I think is why what you guys are doing is so great, because you are leveraging the internet to connect people. And it must be because you're 29. I'm 29. And Leandro, you're not much.
Oh, no.
You look 29.
38.
Well, Leandro's the one that set up with high-tech live streams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is pretty cool.
you might be
there than I can do.
yeah, you might be 18 at a 35-year-old body.
Let me just very quickly remember everybody watching. This is a live show, so if you put your comments down below, we can see them. And if you have a question, Adam and Kim will be certainly happy to answer them. So go down, put a comment, and by the end of the session, we will put this live question and answers for you on screen. So do that.
So another question that I guess I have, that people, if they're watching this, they want to ask if they're going to become a balloon pilot, how much does it cost? And I'm sure you guys get that all the time. So I think it's kind of important to talk about it. And then also what you guys are doing to kind of alleviate the cost, because the Balloon Training Academy, for everyone who doesn't know, and they mentioned it, but I'll reiterate it, it's a nonprofit. They're doing it out of their own free time. So by doing this, they're offering a lot of resources at reduced costs. But I'll let Adam and Kim talk about that.
Yeah, I know cost is a huge factor. The barriers to entry of ballooning are high when you have, cost of equipment and vehicles and crew, and it adds up really quickly. So I know that's one thing that we've been fortunate to have the support of the balloon community on, is being able to, offer this training and everything at very reduced cost. Our online ground school is only $105, which normal ground schools are $300-400. So, I mean, that's significant, cost savings there. And we have this balloon training balloon grant program where we're able to provide, it's basically a club balloon for students and instructors to go out and fly and basically just pay for the maintaining of the equipment, the insurance, the annual inspection, all gets kind of grouped together with everyone who flies it, and you just pay for your share of the flights. And that's, a really good way to, offer reduced cost training to students. And, we don't take anything out of it. We don't have any paid instructors or staff or anything like that. It's all just to grow the sport as much as possible.
Yeah. Right now we have the one training balloon, and we're hoping to acquire a couple more so we can kind of spread them out over the states and get more, more availability to those reduced cost flight training as well as the ground portion.
Yeah, so we've got a really good network, and we're hoping to keep growing our network of instructors who are willing to do the training for reduced cost and help us keep getting more and more pilots. So
yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. So just to kind of the ballpark it, $100 for ground school, and then let's just say you wanted 15 or 20 hours, which is reasonable in the basket. That's maybe what, $200 an hour, would you say, for flight training, give or take?
I think we're doing it. We're doing it for less now, around 100 an hour. So
wow,
when you add in the fuel cost and everything, so
yeah, that's including the fuel cost too, usually. So
yeah, we break everything out based on what we think the costs are for the year, and if we have more donations, that cost goes lower for students. If we lose donations, then we have to raise the price up a little bit. But we're about $100 an hour. So yeah.
Wow, so you could become a balloon pilot now for close to $2,000. Between $2,000 and $3,000, which is absolutely incredible for everyone who doesn't know what traditional prices were. I know for me personally, I went to 141 schools, a little bit more than that. It was a different kind of thing where we got to fly every single day, and it was like you learned everything and in a quick amount of time because you were totally immersed in it. But this is another option, and I think it's definitely opening the doors for more people to get into the sport without putting money in your piggy bank for months or years like I did.
Yeah, I guess, for some people, the 141 school is the best option to be able to get the consistent training, go fly every day, and all of that. And but for those it works out for, it's a good option. And
cool.
So I understand one thing when you say bringing the launch field to you, basically. So you have like a nationwide coast to coast vision for your business or not business, but for your is that correct? Yeah. You're basically becoming the reference point. So, but that's truly great.
Yeah, so that's our goal is to be able to bring it to people, and
how many instructors are on board nowadays in your program, if I can know?
So we have kind of two ways here. We have an elite balloon instructor program to recognize kind of our the elite balloon instructors in the balloon community, and so those are recognizing those instructors that are going above and beyond and pushing and raising the bar, and then through connections, we have other instructors who we're comfortable with their training and their ability to take on equipment. So I don't know. Do we have a really good number on? We probably have about 10 to 15 or so that we're in contact with about if we get a balloon, can we send it off to them, and do they have an area of students to train?
Good enough for me. I mean, congratulations on that.
Yeah, and in the spirit of the thank you balloon, thank you from Leandro and I for. And I guess, the rest of the balloonists who are trying to grow this sport and want to see a future of ballooning and not listen to people when they say ballooning is a dying sport, but actually do something about it and make it into a growing sport, which it totally can be. And I know, not to plug Leandro as well, but that's his vision. And as a young pilot, it's mine. And I know Leandro's making balloons lighter. And more portable, which more inexpensive, which will help all that great stuff.
Yeah.
So in the spirit of thanks, if we'd like to gift you guys, Leandro and I would like to gift you guys space on the thank you balloon to thank. And it doesn't have to be your final thank, but just put you on the spot. Who would you thank right now, today, if you had the opportunity to?
I think we want to thank the entire ballooning community in the U.S., I guess, and even some around the world too.
Around the world, yeah.
We've had students come in and take our course and then go get their U.S. certificate. So really just thanking all the entire ballooning community that have supported our vision and our mission with this nonprofit. And I think our greatest satisfaction is all the people that have been able to receive their certificates. I think we're going to close in on 200 probably here within the next month of new pilots that we brought into the sport, and
wow,
it's just really cool and really great to see all the support. And we love looking at Facebook and seeing all the new pilots, and love people going out there and training and bringing new people in the sport.
Yeah, we really love being active in the ballooning community, whether it's here or we do try to fly abroad as much as we can, just everybody is always so welcoming and so much fun, and it's definitely our passion to just be around all those ballooning people. It's so much fun.
Great. So maybe a future thank you to Leandro for hosting the three of us in the south of France, the southeast of France.
I just want to highlight one point that you can explain as let's demystify ballooning, how hard, how difficult it is to master it. because this is something, when I did the first flight as a passenger, I was pilot of airplanes, a lot of other stuff, but the pilot tried to tell me that you need a certain sensibility, like it's not for everybody. And I felt like, oh, that's not really the speech, I don't know. So tell us how difficult it is to become a pilot. From the skills, what is the most important skill needed to master this?
Well, I think you went the hard route. If you came from being an airplane pilot to a balloon pilot, we always find they have the most trouble because it's not that instant gratification of adding power.
Right.
Isn't it like you can train a monkey to fly an airplane? But
no, ballooning's for everybody, I think. I mean, you'll get the touch of it eventually. It's just a different way to think. You got to be, a little ahead, but once you can kind of get that over that little bump,
Yeah, I guess, ballooning's more of an art than a science.
Yeah.
I guess it's, it's the simplest form of flight. You just hot air rises, cold air sinks. And once you can get that touch and that art, then it's pretty special. And it takes patience. I think patience is a big one. Patience and flight instruction and all that. So
everybody can become a balloon pilot. Actually, you don't even need particular physical conditions, right? I mean, it's what I see. So
I mean, there's balloon pilots who have all sorts of different physical abilities, and they all fly just as well as the other. So I don't think there's any.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's a level playing field, right?
Yeah.
It really is. It truly is. All right. Well, hey, Leandro, I don't have any more questions.
I think it's great. We have just a couple of comments here to bring up. Somebody's saying, hey, you're doing a great job. Adam and Kim. Thank you, Barb, for joining the show. Somebody else hey, that's for Mike.
Yeah, Mike, I'll see you this weekend. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, we will let Kim go, don't worry.
Yeah.
So, Adam and Kim, it has been a great show. I think this content will stay there for a while. You also have a Facebook page, right? So, Facebook, the Balloon Training Academy. Make sure, I've seen there is a lot of content in your website, the Balloon Training Academy. Mm-hmm. There is a really great way to start. Have a look at that website. And that's it. It was great to have you on board.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. And it's a really cool program.
It is.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Really cool.
We will try to bring more content very soon. So, Mike.
That's it. If you guys have any questions about becoming a balloon pilot, you know who to contact. That's who we'll be sending and forwarding our stuff from now on. Thank you for taking that. No, it's really awesome what you guys are doing for the community, and we were just super lucky and happy to have you guys, and we appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck for the future, Adam and Kim. Take care and see you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Take care.